Okay, what is up, everyone? Today I'm doing something a bit different. I've never recorded a video like this before, but today we're gonna start, I suppose, especially if I wanna keep doing this sort of thing. I'm gonna be doing a tier list today. I'm a little bit late to the tier list craze, but I figured I'd do something that a lot of people haven't done, and that's an Ace Attorney tier list, specifically the cases. A lot of people do characters or games, but today we're going to do the cases, and as you can see from the title of the tier list, this is main games. So this is excluding Investigations 1, 2, this is without Leighton v. Wright, this is without Gyakuten Saiban. So this will just cover Ace Attorney 1, Justice for All, Trials and Tribulations, Apollo Justice, Dual Destinies, Spirit of Justice. I believe that is everything. This does include the DLC cases from Ace Attorney 1, Dual Destinies, and Spirit of Justice, but I haven't played them. So when we get to them on the tier list, I'm going to exclude them just from the list in general. So this was a preset tier list. I don't remember if it says who made this. I don't think it does. So I didn't make this. So instead of letter, I'm not gonna change this. Instead of letters, we're gonna go by Kino, which I had to Google it. It's basically the best of like film. So Kino is like our S tier. We have great, good, okay, and bad. I don't know if we're gonna go in any particular order. We might just go in the order that they give us down here. So let's begin. So we're starting with Case 2 of Trials and Tribulations, the Stolen Turnabout. Trials and Tribulations is a very strong game in general, and this is a weaker case in that game. But I think for now, we're going to put it in the good tier. I don't think it's great. I mean, the premise is okay, going from a theft to a murder, and the idea of double jeopardy being the way, you win the case, or how, Rondelli gets out. The villain is pretty good in Ace Attorney retrospects. Luke Atney, really quality villain. Rondelli is annoying as hell. I mean, I don't know, it's just my opinion. Again, we can move things around. I don't think this is great. I think it's better than okay. So we'll put it in good. So then we go on to Case 3 of Trials and Tribulations, Recipe for Turnabout. So do I think this case is on the same level, better, or worse than Case 2? Honestly, this is very hard. Again, Trials and Tribulations is a very strong game. This is probably either this case or Case 2 is the weakest case in the game. It's very difficult. Case 3, I think this is gonna, when like everything is said and done, this is gonna either be low good or high okay. The only reason this case is not bad is that Fiora Tigre is a good villain. And by good, I mean amusing. I mean, it's clear from the first however many minutes of the case that it's him. It's just this case is more about the humor and the side characters than anything else. I think it's either gonna be high, okay, low, good. We'll see how all this year split up. It's not a bad case by any means. But the side characters like Victor, Kudo, I don't really care for it. Viola, I don't really care for at all. Alright, Case 4 of Trials and Tribulations, we have, I think this is Case 4. This is Turnabout Beginnings or Memories. It's one of the two. Actually, let's Google. Shit. This is Beginnings. Okay, I figured, because it's the first case chronologically. My bad. Sorry. Ooh, I'm not an Ace Attorney expert, whatever. Really important for the plot. Okay, so I should say how these cases are going to be affected. Obviously, how much I enjoy them. So we got plot, characters, which include like villains, side characters, investigation, premise, you know, kind of just the basic stuff you think of when you think about what makes an Ace Attorney case or episode so good. For now, this is a great case. So, really important to the plot, you have Dahlia Hawthorne, I guess the debut, chronologically, you know, in the lore. One of the strongest villains in the entire series. You have something, I guess I forgot about uniqueness as a factor, something that the series rarely does or hasn't done before. In this case, with the death of Terry Falls during the case, definitely a weird, I shouldn't say weird, unique, heartbreaking, devastating angle for all the characters involved in this case, and it sets up Case 5 beautifully. Even though it's one of the shorter case, I think it is the shortest case in the game. I think it's shorter than Case 1. I'm actually not sure. But shorter case, it's got a lot. It packs a lot of punch. Got a lot of material. Everything. And going from Case 4 to Case 5, this is probably one that either people expected, saw it coming, or would have, you know, this high on their own. But Bridge to the Turnabout Case 5 of Trials and Tribulations is one of the best cases in the entire series, hands down. The premise is different. Me personally, I'm not a fan of the spirit channeling in the series, but I think this case does it the best. You have Elise Dunham, aka Misty Faye. Just that whole kind of lore with the family bloodline, all that, and probably, you know, the ending, the Godot reveal as the villain, the motivations. This case is just, it would take way too long to explain why this case is so good. Basically, all of the side characters are funny, amusing, and are important in their own way, whether it's in the courtroom or during investigations or whatnot. Heck, Larry is one of the most. This is probably Larry's most important appearance in the series, with the drawing, the upside down drawing. But just kind of like the emotional, the gameplay, the trials, playing as Edgeworth. Just kind of everything about this case is, I don't want to say perfect, but it's really strong. And that's why TNT is one of the stronger games in the franchise. So, going away from TNT for at least a bit, actually. Yeah, we're gonna be away from TNT for a bit. We're gonna go to Apollo Justice. So, Apollo Justice is a game. That's something. But I'm proud to say that Turnabout Corner, I'll put it in good for now. If this is like a first case tier list, Turnabout Corner would be S tier or A tier. Turnabout, not Corner. I meant for fucking Trump. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna edit this, most likely. This is Turnabout Trump. At least I'm gonna assume this is Turnabout Trump. I can't read it, but this is Trump. Really good first case. I think the premise is interesting. The poker game, Phoenix Wright being revealed as, you know, someone, the attorney that lost his badge, now basically nobody. I think it sets up the rest of the game very well, but the rest of the game, spoiler alert, isn't that strong. And that's when we get to Turnabout Corner, which is a bad case. Turnabout Corner is awful. I do not like the premise. I don't like the side characters. I don't like the whole gangster mafia. I forgot everyone's name, basically. All the side characters are bad. It might have been a while since I played some of these cases, but Turnabout Corner is bad, and it's a case that I don't plan on revisiting anytime soon. Turnabout Serenade. I'm gonna put it in okay for now. Serenade, I don't like the villain. I don't like Darian. I don't like I already forgot the blind kid's name, or the blind kid's name. I didn't like that whole side plot of the cocoon smuggling. That was kind of weird out of nowhere. And Serenade, how do I explain this? I'm gonna call stuff like this Rise from the Ashes syndrome, and in Serenade's case, it's that damn music video, and you have to find the parts that, you know, sounded differently or had missing sounds or something. Used the DS capabilities decently, but it was just not fun. It's not in the same league as Turnabout Corner, so that's why I'm putting it in okay for now. So I believe this next case is Turnabout. I forgot what it's called. Succession, my bad. As a final case, it's okay. But, I mean, as a case in Apollo Justice, it's good. I'll probably put everything in order when it's said and done. This is better than Trump, but I'll put it not as good as Stolen for now. The time travel sequence stuff, interesting, executed okay. Obviously Gavin was, you know, the villain the whole time. Nothing unexpected other than the poison plot of the daughter of the artist. I'm gonna forget everyone's names. I'm sorry. The art plot was okay. The forgery plot, good. You know, something, you know, in terms of Apollo Justice standards, it was good. But I think compared to the other cases in the series, especially ones that are on the list right now and ones that we'll get to later, definitely a mid-tier case in general. Okay, next case might be one of the more polarizing ones, Turnabout Sisters, one of the most important plot cases in the entire series. But in terms of the gameplay, and kind of everyone, like all the characters, and there are not a lot of side characters in this one, I have to put this okay. I mean, the plot's good, but Red, White, shallow. April, May, shallow. I mean, yeah, first Ace Attorney game, you know, it's not going to be perfect. But again, in terms of the entire series, Turnabout Sisters is just okay. I'm going to say it's better than both of the cases in the okay tier. It probably beats Recipe by a hair. But again, I think the plot just carries it. The whole Mia Fey narrative and Phoenix meeting Maya for the first time and meeting, you know, Gumshoe and Edgeworth. But all the side characters that appear that in this case exclusively are not that good. Turnabout Samurai. Okay. Instinctively, I think, I don't know, bunch of new characters are introduced, and some characters that are reoccurring in the series, like Old Bag. The premise is unique. It's not really an important case in terms of the overarching plot of Ace Attorney 1 or the entire series. But they could have just done so much more with the studio set. I found the studio set boring to explore. And a lot of, you know, you're kind of... I feel like it was more kind of like a maze than anything. And kind of getting stuck. There's one section specifically where you had to go back to the right offices after you talk to the kid. I forgot his name. Cody Hackins, right? And it was like, oh, you know, and then Maya channels Mia, and then it just kind of like, it was out of nowhere. You kind of had no idea where to go. This is... I'm gonna go better than Sisters, but I'm gonna keep it in the okay tier for now. I guess one thing I forgot, D. Vasquez is she's not a villain. She's basically not a villain because the whole murder, the whole catch of the case was that the murder was an accident. So that kind of just took away any appeal that I had from any of the characters or any like it took away all the interest I had in those in the courtroom sequences, thinking, oh, she had some sort of motive or whatever. Turnabout goodbyes. So before y'all were probably like, wow, this guy's just gonna bash Ace Attorney 1. Turnabout goodbyes is great. I mean, I think a lot of people would agree with me. Turnabout goodbyes. I mean, as a case in Ace Attorney 1, it's the best case in the game, spoiler alert. And as a case in the series, it still holds up to the whole series. I may not. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the bad things about this case. Gourd Lake, not interesting to explore, but I really well, I shouldn't say I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed a lot of heart, and obviously Capcom did too, because they brought her back in future games. Manfred Found Karma, sinister villain, I guess S tier villain if you want to say. The two cases in one type thing with the murder on the lake and the DL6 incident, the conclusion to the DL6 incident in the story. Really important plot related case. Trials were very challenging, I should say, especially with Karma controlling most of them. Side characters, obviously you had the boat caretaker who was Yanni Yogi, which I expected from a mile away, but I digress. The parrot, cross-examining the parrot, one of the most iconic Ace Attorney moments in the entire series. I think Turnabout Goodbyes is great. Enough said. Oh boy. Case 1 of Justice for All, The Lost Turnabout. This case is really, really bad. Literally, Capcom is like, alright, we need something for a tutorial. Let's go amnesia plot. And then it just kind of like spirals out of control. The premise sucks. I'm sorry. And the villain is really bad too. And it's like, wow, superb. It's just the first case. Of course the villain is gonna suck. This villain was worse than Frank saw it, dude. Like, I don't know, the baseball glove, the bananas, bad eyesight, all that jazz. This case just isn't good, both as an Ace Attorney case and as a first case. I mean, I guess the best part about this case is Maggie Bird, because, she's reoccurring. But other than that, this case is really weak. I don't know what one's worse, this or Corner. I think I'm gonna probably say that The Lost Turnabout is worse for now, because I guess it's a first case, so it's a lot more simple. There's a lot less to it. All right, next one's gonna be another polarizing one. Rise from the Ashes, Ace Attorney 1. I think it's high okay or low good. Case is just very long, casually. You'll get stuck a lot, you won't know where to go. Damon Gant carries this case. Damon Gant is one of the best villains in the entire series. The side characters are decent. Obviously, well, if we count Gant as a side character, I mean, this is his only case. Gant's really good. Marshall is okay. I was never like too attached to him, even with the SL9 plot with his brother. The Skies were... I enjoyed them. I enjoyed Emma as an assistant and Lana as a defendant, even though you start to hate Lana at the very beginning of the case, because she's immediately hostile and against you just because of the whole Damon Gant blackmail plot. But this case was just really long. The investigations are complex, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because Capcom just wanted to make use of the DS abilities. I think the execution could have been better, specifically with the broken jar, the fingerprinting. It just kind of got redundant. But I mean, this is either going to be high okay or low good. We'll see where this goes. I don't think it's the best case in Ace Attorney 1. I don't think it's one of, you know, people have this in like top 10 cases in the series. I wouldn't, most likely. So we'll jump forward to Spirit of Justice Case 2, the Magical Turnabout. I'm gonna put this in greats because, well, I'm surprised as a second case, this case is really strong. It's one investigation, one trial, or two investigations, one trial. I know there's only one trial, but Roger Ratings as a villain is intriguing, unique, hilarious. The premise is really interesting. The magic show, the accidental murder. I think that was really cool. Investigating the set was really cool, and I feel like that it did right what Turnabout Samurai didn't. It utilized, well, obviously it utilized the 3DS potential. Apollo Justice is, you know, the main attorney, kind of shifting away from Phoenix in Kurine to the States. Not a very important case to the, I mean, it's not filler, I can tell you. I wouldn't call it a filler case, because there's another case we're definitely going to get to in the same game that is 100% filler. But, I mean, it was kind of obvious that Ratings was the villain, but the twist that he was actually the Grammari that got, blacklisted, however you want to call it, he got kicked out of the troop. That was very interesting. So yeah, as definitely a strong case. That's why I'm gonna put it in great for now. All right, this next one's gonna be. It's gonna be a challenge to place because this is Cosmic Turnabout Case 4 from Dual Destinies. So this was just kind of a bridge case that it was just a lead up to Case 5. I'm gonna put it in good. I think it's better than okay. It's shorter because again, it just leads into Case 5. But this introduces some of the side characters that are really like good in Dual Destinies. Like the I forgot everyone's name. I'm sorry, but the director on the Segway and the whole plot with Apollo, just kind of shying away from everyone just to solve the case of his murdered friend. It's good as a lead-in to Case 5, but I think I'll put it as better than everything in the OK tier, just because I think the plot is more engaging and just the characters are better. Case 2, Justice... No, this isn't just... Oh, my bad. This is Case 2, Trials and Tribulations. No, this is Case 2, Justice for All, Reunion and Turnabout. My bad. I'm gonna put it in low good. So I played through this case recently. Out of all the cases on this list, this is the case I actually played through the most recently, outside of Rise, because I speedrun Rise from the Ashes. Follow me on twitch.tv at SuperbKings24 for Ace Attorney speedruns and Kingdom Hearts speedruns. But I played through Reunion and Turnabout recently, and I liked it more than I have in the past. I don't know why. The channeling premise was pretty good. I'd say it was well done. Obviously, Bridge took it to, turn the dial to 11. Channeling premise was cool, and then the plot with Eeny Miny and Mimi Mimey, the sisters, the car accident, the doctor backstory. That side plot was sort of engaging, and it created the motivation for Miney to be a conspirator with Morgan, and it sets up the bloodline narrative of the Fae clan that we see throughout the series. It's good. It's nothing. It didn't blow me out of the park, especially since Justice for All was such a, I'm gonna just say, mediocre game. Wasn't that good. So I'll just move in. I believe this is Turnabout Big Top Case 3, Justice for All. And a lot of people might agree with me here. This case is bad. It's not as bad as these two, though. Just because the side there's just a bigger and better variety of side characters to this case, and it just adds a bit more. The circus gimmick was okay. You know, it was a good idea. It was just really poorly executed. And a bunch of the characters were annoying. They weren't funny. It made both investigations and courtroom sequences a drag. Mo the Clown being the first one that comes to my mind. Acro as a villain came kind of out of nowhere. And it was another accidental murder. I don't really, as you can tell, I don't like accidental murders. It just ruins all the fun in trying to figure out who did it when it was just basically an accident. And the whole flight kind of thing, how I'm already trying to remember. Galactica, my bad, sorry, it's been a while. How Maximilian Galactica flew away from the scene when it was really just kind of his bust that was dropped down by Acro. This case was just not good, and I can definitely say that all the cases in the OK tier are better. Turnabout Big Top was just kind of a disappointment. From a big disappointment to a big success. Farewell My Turnabout, the finale of Justice for All, is the best case in Justice for All, and is the only reason why I can consider Justice for All a somewhat mediocre game. Farewell is just so... It's one of the most emotional cases in the entire series. It's probably more emotional than Bridge, if you weren't that attached to Godot or anything like that, but Maya's kidnapping, side plot, the whole, the rush for time to get the case done, get the trial, get a not guilty verdict for, oh god, I'm Matt Ungard, oh god, why I can't remember his name, and Ace Attorney taking the what if your defendant is actually guilty angle, a new angle for the series. Adrian Andrews is one of the best side characters in the entire series. Brought her back in Trials and Tribulations. You and Edgeworth teaming up. The ending is really strong, and found it weird that at the end when you have to present the videotape to the killer. Like, I don't know. It was weird. Because I don't think any other case, otherwise it would be a bad ending. I'm not sure if any other case has a bad ending, necessarily. But you can get the bad ending, where... Phoenix just kind of feels miserable. It definitely added to the tension of Phoenix and his kind of the arc he goes through throughout the case in order to save Maya. This is one of the best written plot story cases in the franchise. The Killer is an I don't want to say he's an amazing side character. I mean, he's an assassin, so he's kind of shallow. He's very intriguing. Matt Ungard is one of the best villains in the series. He's probably a little under Gant and Karma, but he's still up there. And that's why I think Farewell My Turnabout is one of the top tier cases in the entire franchise. So this is case 3 of Spirit of Justice. This is the Right of Turnabout. So this one I'm trying to remember. So I'm gonna put it in good. And here's why. First thing I think about of this case is the ending. And I think the ending was, I feel like emotional would be kind of a stretch. I guess the catch that the whole, everything was that the victim committed suicide in order to protect the resistance. I forgot the name of the, kind of like the organization, but to protect the group. It's better than the accidental murder angle, I can tell you that. And when you do that, the sequence, where you connect the dots with the mind and you figure out, and then you see the big letters that say like the death or the murder was a suicide, and just seeing like those big like bold words pop up on the screen, you're just kind of like, wow, like someone would do that. The reason it's not great, I'm trying to remember, the investigations weren't amazing, and the divination seances, there was one, I completely forgot what one it was, but there was one that I'm pretty sure a lot of people got stuck on, because it was like one very specific detail. It's not the best case in Spirit of Justice for sure, but it's not bad. And that's all I'll say right now before I get something wrong. Case 1 of Spirit of Justice, this is Foreign Turnabout. As a first case, it's pretty good. I don't think it beats Turnabout Trump for best first case in the series. I'm gonna put this higher okay. The premise and plot are decent because it introduces you to Quirine courts, the lack of defense attorneys, kind of brings the whole the Defense Culpability Act, I believe is what it's called. It brings that plot in, so it sets up the game well. I'll be your guide. Decent side character, decent defendant. I mean, he is just like a kid, so like, what can he do? But the villain, I really tried to like peace, love, and understanding as a villain. But at the end, when he just kept like singing all of his testimony, it was a decent touch, but it just kind of got annoying. And it was still kind of basic for a first case. Trump did it better, and this game came out however long after it. So that's why I'll put Foreign Turnabout in okay for now. So we're jumping back to Dual Destinies. Actually, I don't know if we have a Dual Destinies one on here yet. I don't think so. So yeah, this is the first Dual Destinies case. So Monstrous Turnabout, it is the weakest case in the game. I'm gonna put it okay. I don't know if that will be the specific place where it stays. I didn't like the yokai plot. I really didn't. And since I didn't like the yokai plot, I didn't like any. I'm trying to remember. I didn't like a lot of the side characters in this case. Mainly because of like the yokai gimmick. The villain was very bland, like narcissistic. It was just meh. The investigations were decent. But I don't know how else to explain this because this case was just kind of meh. And I mean, as a second case, it's okay, I suppose. But it can't hold up to the other quality cases in the franchise. Oh boy, Turnabout Revolution Spirit of Justice finale. This is another top tier case. It is the longest case in the series, so you might be thinking, well, superb, you put Rise from the Ashes in the okay tier, but Turnabout Revolution is longer. Well, Turnabout Revolution did it better. Because Turnabout Revolution, you have so many parts of the case. You have what? You have the jar part with. Okay. I'm like, this case is just so complex. Like, in terms of complexity, this one is probably the most complex in the entire series. But you have the plot to get the Founder's Orb and the whole inheritance thing. You have politician who I didn't like. He was annoying. He was a bitch. But yeah, that part of the case. You had the murder of. He didn't even. Well, you had Dirk dying, which is another one of those emotional moments of the entire series. You have the reveal of the queen being a bitch, an evil, villain. She's not a top tier villain, but she did her job. She added more to the case than she took away from it. It would take me forever to talk about every aspect of this case, but that like final divination seance where you're Apollo's dad in the fire, and then it's revealed that the queen was involved the whole time. It was definitely out of the blue. But yeah, sorry. This case was just really good. I don't know where it compares to these two, but it's definitely really good. So this case, I believe this is Turnabout Time Traveler from Spirit of Justice. I will not be putting it on the list because I haven't played it. And is the other one on here? And we will not be including. I forgot what this one was called. I will not be putting the DLC case from Dual Destinies on the list either because I have not played that one. Turnabout for Tomorrow, the Dual Destinies finale. I think you're sensing a trend. This is low Kino, high grade. I'm gonna put it in top tier for now because I think my music stopped. Let's reload that. My apologies. Is it gonna load? I have to edit. Okay. So, Turnabout for Tomorrow, Dual Destinies, I'm gonna put in the top tier. The Athena Simon dynamic throughout the game, and specifically this case, is emotional. You definitely get attached to like their friendship. You have investigating the science lab. You have the side characters like Ponko the robot. You have Edgeworth coming back as a prosecutor, which I mean he didn't need to come back. You have the trial and the bombed courtroom. The atmosphere is amazing in this case. It definitely like the Cosmic Turnabout set this up amazingly. Meta Sykes, the death, and Athena believing that she killed her all along. You have the Phantom, which, Bobby Fulbright, whatever you want to say. Ambiguous villain, we haven't found out anything more about the Phantom or Bobby Fulbright in the entire series. So if there's like a big weakness, I don't really like the whole villain gimmick. So, but I'm gonna keep this top tier just because the atmosphere and I guess again, same thing with farewell the tension of freeing Blackwell before his execution. Turnabout Academy. So now we're going back to case 3 of Dual Destinies. This is great. This is a great case. It broke case 3 syndrome. Basically. I think all the side characters are good in their own ways. I think Means as a villain was decent. He wasn't amazing, but for a third case, I think it was pretty good. The gimmick, the school, I think the school atmosphere was well done. I think the investigations were well done at the school, like on the stage, for example. And some of like the rooms you had to find clues in. But like everyone taking like the blame or whatever it was. I don't know. It's great for case 3. This is Athena's case, basically. Some of the twists that some of the side characters took, like the gender swap, Robin. I just remembered the name. I apologize if I don't remember the names or specific details of any of these cases. Some of them are harder to remember. I haven't played some of them in a bit. But I'm just telling you my opinion in this list. So, Academy is a great case, and I think this and Magical Turnabout, those are like some cases that deserve to be great. Just because they, as a second and third case, they do a lot for the game and have some really good traits. This is Turnabout Countdown. We're going back to case 1 of Dual Destinies. It's simple, but I think it's good. So, I mean, the Dual Destinies chronology, it's weird. So what, this happens after case 4 in the timeline, I believe. So it's kind of not a first case, technically. I mean, it's simple, but I think the bombing gimmick was well done. The villain, I already forgot his name. I know he had a fun name. Villain was meh. First case villain, but it definitely leads you into it tells the player Dual Destinies is going to be a mature game. I think it was rated M. I actually don't know about that, but this tells you we are definitely going to tackle some mature themes from this atmosphere, from it's terrorism, terrorism as a first case in an Ace Attorney game. You wonder where this can go, and you lead into a pretty good game, in my opinion. Turnabout Storyteller, Case 4, Spirit of Justice. This is bad. This was the filler case I mentioned in Spirit of Justice. This case is bad. It serves no purpose to the plot of the game or the series. I basically hated all the side characters in this. The villain was out of nowhere, per se, and I didn't even like her. Again, I'm forgetting everyone's names. But the whole noodle... I'm not saying, I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to incorporate some Japanese culture into, their Japanese game, Capcom, whatever. I think even if I understood it, I didn't like it. The premise was meh. It was just a guy's head in a bowl of noodles or whatever. And Athena really got, screwed over in Spirit of Justice. I don't know if this... Alright, this case is not as bad as Lost, but I think it might be worse than Corner. Just because it provides nothing, and it's just the epitome of filler in this game. And hopefully that kind of gives you my sense of why it's not a good case at all. The first case of the first game, the first Ace Attorney case ever, after putting these first cases on here, I don't know where to put them. Because, obviously it's not going to have as much content as, the Lost Turnabout, but I think it's, better. I don't know where to put it. I'll be nice. I'll put it at the very bottom of okay. Just kind of, you know, this is the one first case where I might give it some leeway because it's the first case ever. It's very short, very simple. You know, Frank is the killer the whole time. The concept is very simple, but in terms of getting you in, you get introduced to Larry, to Mia, to the judge Ian, if you want to, you know, say that. It's simple, but it does a good job of teaching you the game. So that's why I'm going to put it at the very bottom of okay. Turnabout Memories, Case 1 TNT. This is, well, if I said Trump was the best case in the first in the series, I might have lied. I think Memories is a great first case and a great Ace Attorney case. The Trials and Tribulations chronology, you know, it's kind of messed up. It's a good case. Gets, you know, you get to know more about Phoenix in the past, Mia in the past. It introduces you to Dahlia, one of the best villains in the entire franchise, like I said before. Case is simple, yes. The electrocution thing was, I feel like they could have had a better like murder plot, if you want to say that. But in terms of getting you introduced to the characters and like cross-examine, but you get to cross-examine Dahlia and Phoenix. I mean, yeah, I guess you do hate Phoenix a bit just because he's like some naive teenager or whatever. But I think the like cases like this are why Trials and Tribulations is a great game. I think this is a good spot to end it because we only have the 2 DLC cases left. So I guess I'll just go over it. I'll maybe put everything in order. If anything, this might be unedited. So at our top tier, our Kino, our like best in art and film, because that's what it means. We have Bridge to the Turnabout, Farewell My Turnabout, Turnabout Revolution, Turnabout for Tomorrow. This is really hard if I wanted to put it in order. I think Revolution, or not Revolution, I think for Turnabout for Tomorrow is good at the bottom of this tier. I think Revolution's complexity really, I don't know. I would say that like these 3 cases are basically tied. Like 1A, 1B, 1C. Revolution has the advantage just because it's kind of like longer, it's more complex, it's more like fleshed out. I don't know. But please don't take like these top 3 too seriously. It's not like they're each in different tiers. These are all really good cases. Even Turnabout for Tomorrow is a really good case. I just think these 3 in the same tier are better. So in our great tier we have Turnabout Beginnings, Turnabout Goodbyes, Magical Turnabout, Turnabout Academy, Turnabout Memories. Goodbyes is probably the best in this tier. It's just got that final case, you know. I don't want to say syndrome, but it's got that final case touch. It's a good end to the first Ace Attorney plot. Other than that, I think this order is pretty good. Turnabout Beginnings was just really unique, even though it's short. Again, all these cases, I think every case on like each tier are like pretty close in their own way, and they're good in their own way. It's really hard to, you know, rank a first case and like a third case from different games on different platforms. So I'll just keep this. So we have and then we got our good cases. We have Stolen Turnabout, Turnabout Secession, Turnabout Trump, Cosmic Turnabout, Reunion and Turnabout, Rite of Turnabout, and Turnabout Countdown. So this would be a big pain to put in order. Is there a case I think that's on the border of being great? I don't know if there's one on the border. I might just keep this order. I think Rite is better than Reunion. Cosmic I'll keep there. Cosmic I'll put better than Trump. I think I think we'll deal with it. I think this is fine. I'm fine with Stolen being on the top of good, introducing you to Godot and just kind of all the side characters, the Double Jeopardy plot, like what I said earlier. Okay tier. Well, like I said, I think the first turnabout will be at the bottom of okay tier no matter what. Right, Rise from the Ashes being at the top. I'll put Samurai above Foreign. I'll put Rise at the top of okay tier. I don't like Monstrous. I'll put Turnabout Sisters above Foreign. I'll put Recipe above it. Was the Serenade? Okay, I'll do that. I think this is a fine order. I really don't like Serenade, but I don't like Monstrous either. And then our bad tier, we have Turnabout Big Top. We have Turnabout Corner. We have Turnabout Storyteller, and we have Lost Turnabout. This is really hard to put in order. I feel like it'd be really unfair saying the Lost Turnabout is the worst case in the entire series. But I feel like a lot of people would share that same opinion. I think this is a fine order. I think I'm fine with Big Top being at the top of bad. I think Corner and Storyteller are kind of I think these three could be interchangeable. So that's probably the end of the tier list. I might make more of these. I'll probably make more of these on random things, whether it's video game things or, you know, fast food places like everyone else is doing. So yeah, thanks for watching. Just if you want to make your own template, go to Tiermaker, Google, or search Ace Attorney cases. You'll find a title something like this. Make your own tier list, share your opinions. I don't think I'll share this on Twitter. But yeah, thanks for watching, and see ya next time.